Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here, and today's effort is a terrain diorama. I normally include some kind of building, burnt out, bombed out, or a road, or something structural, but this is just a terrain diorama. We're just sitting on mud, really. And I've just added the barbed wire barrier that I made the last video and a couple of trees. That's all. So easy to do, easy to make, and it will set off your military diorama quite nicely. So let's get on with the video, and I'll show you how I went about making it. So I want to use my WW1 tank in a terrain diorama, which means I'm going to have to cut this up to make it look like a terrain. You could use styrofoam and you could use polystyrene. I'm using polystyrene here. I could just chop into it with a knife, I suppose, with a sharp knife, but that would be a bit messy and not terribly accurate. So the only thing is to use a polystyrene cutter, but because the only thing I've got is 1 3/4 inches wide, something like that, I've had to cut these into strips so that I've got enough room to cut them. So what I shall do is stick these pieces together to give me the height, then mark out on the side where I want the undulating terrain to be. Then I can cut that out with this. Then it won't be the same all the way across, it will be slightly different, so each section will be a slightly different shape, so that when they are put together it will give me my undulating terrain finish. I've never done this before, so I'm really hoping that this is the way to do it. So that's what I'll do anyway. I'll stick all these pieces together, 1 2 3 4 5, and then cut each piece separately. Then there will be a border of cardboard, 2mm cardboard, all the way around the edges. So I'll go ahead and do that, and hopefully it will work out, and we'll go on to the next bit. So I've got the shape of my terrain that I wanted, cut it with my foam cutter to a certain shape. Or if you remember, there's like five different layers, and then once they're in a rough shape like that, then I just picked at it with a sharp barbecue stick to get the roughness, which you can do very easily with polystyrene. It's the ideal material to use really for this kind of thing. So what I've done is mix some wall filler with some water and put a coat of this all over, so we will get rid of the polystyrene, which is not good for sticking things to or painting really. So with this, when this dries, then that will be a good base then to put my mud on, which will either be mud from the garden mixed with PVA glue, which I did on my WW1 trench diorama, which turned out reasonably well, or I may use a tile grout, a very dark tile grout that will look like a mud colour. So I'm not quite sure which to do yet. So this will be ready then for the tank to sit on. I won't put it on because my wall filler isn't dry, but that will sit in there. And then I've made a couple of trees that have been blown off at the top, So all these are is a half-inch balsa wood, a half-inch diameter balsa wood, and then some barbecue sticks stuck to make the branches, and then lots and lots of wall filler. Still wet, but when that's dry, then I can paint that, spray the top black where it's been blown away, and they will sit there as a couple of stumps of trees, and then maybe with a little bit of barbed wire. That's all that will be required. So the whole point of the diorama is that it is just terrain and nothing else. Okay, so I'll paint the outside black, put this 2mm frame all around. I'll paint that black, and then do something to make that look like soil. Still not quite sure what yet, and I'll be back and show you what I did. Okay, finished the diorama off, completed now. What I did for the ground, I had some black peat which my wife uses on the garden, so it's very fine black powder. So I mixed that with some soil from the garden also, and then a lot of PVA glue, and mixed that with some water, which made, well, mud, quite honestly, but it does dry. It dries absolutely solidly, and because it looks like earth, it is earth. That's what it is. So you can't get much more realistic than that, really. This is a separate video. In fact, my last video I made, barbed wire barriers. So I put one of those up there if you need to know. That's in the last video that I made. The trees are the same as my palm trees that I made, the trunks anyway. And all I did was take the top off, just with a pair of pliers, just rip the top, and then spray it black to show that it's been blown away, and just left the part of the trunk left. And a little bit of foliage in the front there. I just cut a sweeping brush, the bristles of a sweeping brush, and stuck those in. A little bit of grass. There wouldn't be much grass left in this situation, I don't think. So with my World War tank, again, another video. I made a separate video of how to make a World War I tank. All 2mm cardboard, as usual. So all it is cardboard, a little bit of balsa wood. That's cocktail stick, and the base is just polystyrene and a cardboard frame around it. So very little cost, not much at all. So there you are. If you wanted anything like this, it would be easy to make. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. I'll give you a twirl if I can get around that. That's it. Won't go around. That's it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Please subscribe as usual to the channel. Click that notification bell, most importantly, and you'll be notified when new videos come along. In the meantime, have a go yourself. If you do, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, as is usual, I wish you the very best of happy modelling.